Well, folks, they done went and done it. There's not going to be any stopping this shiznit show now. They messed around and put Gypsy Rose on the Kardashians. This, in my opinion, is the last little boost she needed to kickstart this social media influencer reality show star life that she so desperately wanted. And I mean, when you get co-signed by Kim Kardashian, the queen of influence, the queen of reality TV, who's going to be able to tell Gypsy Rose anything now? Just imagine how big her head is getting. I bet her little beady eyes are crossing and she's already doing the math in her head about how many followers she's going to get, about how many views she's going to get, about how much money she's going to stack. And think about it. It's crazy how she got here. She is on the Kardashians, people. For what? All she did in her life, the one thing that she has done noteworthy in her life is she killed her mom. Now she's going to be on the biggest reality show there is, alongside the biggest reality star there is. And as crazy as it seems, once you really boil it down, maybe it's not that crazy after all. Because here we have a woman whose main claim to fame, the reason why we all know Kim Kardashian, is because of a sex tape. And after that sex tape, she boosted her career to where she is now. Now, a lot of people hate on the Kardashians. I'm not one of those people. I don't have any problem with people coming up how they come up. If Kim Kardashian made it to where she is now from a sex tape, then good on her. However, I have a different feeling when it comes to something like boosting yourself to superstardom off of murdering your mom. That's a big difference. That's really disgusting to me. I have no problem with OnlyFans models and stuff like that. Do your thing, get your money, come up, become the next Kim Kardashian for all I care. You know, I know a lot of people speak out about things like that. I'm not worried about things like that. But when it comes to achieving this level of fame and success, notoriety, off of being a murderer, I just don't think that's good for our society. Especially where we're at right now. Look around you. The last thing we need to be doing is celebrating killers. The last thing we need to be doing is incentivizing people to do things like what Gypsy did. But that's the message that we are sending to a lot of people out here. And folks, you have to understand, a lot of these people, their brains don't operate the way your brain operates or the way my brain operates. They're impressionable. I can guarantee you that there is some weird person right now sitting silently, sulking in a corner, watching as Gypsy climbs the levels of success after killing her mother, and there are going to be other people who think that they can take that path forward as well. But the weirdest part about this Kim Kardashian, Gypsy Rose meetup, link up for me, is that in a weird way, it seems to me like the Kardashians are using Gypsy Rose for clout and not the other way around. Now, don't get me wrong. The Kardashians don't need Gypsy Rose. But I don't think their TV show is as relevant as it once was. And if you know anything about the Kardashians, they try to keep their finger on the pulse of what is current, what is relevant, what is trending, how can we connect ourselves to that? So the Kardashians know that the next upcoming reality show star is Gypsy Rose. She has a show coming out soon. And then there's going to be another season, another documentary, another book, possibly another show. And the Kardashians are already trying to wedge their way in there, using Gypsy Rose for ratings, which is kind of weird, but that's what I believe is happening. Now, supposedly, the reason they're meeting up is because of prison reform. And Gypsy's going to help Kim Kardashian get all of these people who were wrongly convicted. She's going to help Kim get them out of jail. Now, I know Kim has been on this prison reform thing for years now. And I'm not an expert on all of the cases that she's dealt with or has talked about. But I have looked into a couple where I was really questioning Kim Kardashian, like, wait, are you sure this guy's innocent? Because this guy doesn't sound so innocent to me. And I'm not saying that's the case with every person that she has dealt with. I am sure that she has maybe dealt with some people who have been wrongly convicted. And that's one of the scariest things I can think of. Getting wrongly convicted for something you didn't do. But there's a lot of people out there that have been wrongfully convicted. So I'm not someone who's necessarily against, certain reforms. I'm not someone who's against checking back in and looking into cases again, just in case, they may have gotten something wrong. But I feel as if sometimes when dealing with situations like this, people can get hyped up and not know the full story. Kind of like with what we're dealing with Britney Spears and the Free Britney movement. You got people from the outside looking in thinking they're experts about everything that's going on. Little do they know, they don't know the half of it. And I feel like that can be the same case when it comes to Kim Kardashian, who's sometimes looking into these cases, feeling like these people are innocent, and, the social media, groups come together and they they protest and all of that nonsense. And sometimes you get caught up in the hype of things, but, sometimes these people don't necessarily need to be out of jail. And I believe we're definitely in a time where the crime rate is through the roof. People no longer value human life. It's just really crazy. And a lot of violent people are being let out of jail the next day to hurt more people. So while I understand the need for looking into cases, prison reform right now, and the climate that we're in, I think we need a couple of years before we really start jumping into that. Because right now I feel like we have a problem more so with releasing criminals, violent criminals, right back on the street as opposed to the other way around. But we're not here to even talk about all of that mumbo jumbo. Just like Kim Kardashian and Gypsy Rose aren't linking up to talk about that mumbo jumbo either. Because one thing Gypsy has made clear is that she does not care about being, she does not care about being a voice for young people who may have gone through things like she has been. She's not caring about being a voice for prison reform. Gypsy is caring about somehow becoming the next Kim Kardashian. That is what is on Gypsy's mind. And as delusional as Gypsy is, and I think we can all agree that she is, who are we to say anything now? At this point, her head is getting so big, her beady little eyes are getting all crossed, and she's just thinking about this future. A future that she may very well have at this point, because she has been propped up by the media, by Hollywood, because this is the type of stuff they promote. You know, you can go out there and save someone's life. We'll never hear about it. No one gives a damn. But you kill your mom? Oh, you're going to get a reality show. We're going to give you a book. You know what I mean? But as I said, or as I was saying, you got to believe that this is making Gypsy Rose's head even bigger. No one's going to be able to tell her anything now. I mean, she just went from killing her mom to prison to being on the Kardashians in a record amount of time without having to do anything major in between. It's not like she's really redeemed herself or she's done anything of value. She's just kind of been there. Being a sleazeball, sleeping around with random dudes, cheating on her husband, you know, and all of that other stuff. So at the end of the day, folks, I don't know what to say. What can we say? This is the country that we live in. This is the society that we live in. It's a complete circus. And this is why I tell people, I don't take anything too seriously anymore. I don't take life itself too seriously anymore because it's clear that no one is taking life seriously around us. This world, like I said, it's a circus. Everything, I just look around and I laugh. I am clown-pilled. And I think a lot of you all are clown-pilled as well. Look around, everything is a complete joke. Nothing makes sense at all. And the only thing we can do at this point to stop ourselves from being stressed, to stop ourselves from worrying about where all of this nonsense goes next, the only thing we can do is laugh. So when I see this news, yeah, I think it's terrible for our society. But what can I do but laugh? Because it's to be expected. Because we have reached a point where this is what we celebrate. And that's sad. And, you know, I'm still out here like an old soul trying to get people to come back to reality, come back to earth, okay? People like Gypsy Rose aren't celebrities. Everyone needs to chill out. Let's return to a sense of normalcy. But there's no going back to normal. And for Gypsy, there's no going back. Gypsy is only going forward. And before we know it, at this point, I may have had things to say before. At this point, man, the sky is the limit for Gypsy Rose. Who knows? For all we know, she may be the president one day. I'll go ahead and say it. I will go ahead and say it. You know, she may be the president one day. But with all of that being said, let me know your thoughts about this down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all soon in the next one.